All right, today we're diving into something pretty different. It's an open investor pitch from a company called Brahmasmi.Online, and they've got this really interesting idea about mashing up wellness and investment. Let's just jump right in and see what it's all about. Okay, so right off the bat, they hit you with this. Investment isn't elite access, it's shared opportunity. And really, this one sentence, it's their entire philosophy in a nutshell. They're basically saying, hey, the old way of thinking that only a select few get to invest and reap the rewards, that's over. They're building a model where everyone gets a piece of the pie. But, that's the big question, right? Having a great mission statement is one thing, but how do you actually build a real, viable business around it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack here. We'll look at their strategy, their model, and what they're actually offering to people who get in early. So first things first, investment for everyone. This is their why, the big idea that's driving this whole thing. It all starts from here. So think about this. Instead of the usual pyramid structure where all the benefits flow to the top, they're picturing something more like a circle, a community-driven system where you have founding partners, wellness advocates, and what they call global citizens, and they're all building the company together. The whole point is to make a system where the value that's created gets shared with everyone who had a hand in creating it. Pretty radical. Okay, so that leads us right into their core strategy, which they call the movement-first model. This is where that big philosophical idea starts to look like an actual business plan. So what does movement first actually mean? Well, in practice, it's about flipping the script. Instead of blowing a ton of cash on marketing and ads from day one, they're focusing on proving their impact on the ground, in real communities, first. The idea is to build this solid, credible foundation and let that real-world value be the thing that fuels their growth. It's growth from the inside out. And they call this their grassroots engine. The whole point is to make this movement not just powerful, but also super cost-effective. And believe me, this is where the numbers start to get really, really interesting. Get this. They're not just guessing here. They've got data from a community of over 1 million people in India. And based on that, they're projecting that their model can deliver 3 times the health outcomes compared to your standard wellness programs. So this isn't some pie-in-the-sky idea. It's based on results they've already seen. And here's the kicker. They're achieving these, 3 times better results for just 1/10 of the usual cost. I mean, how on earth is that even possible? Well, here's the secret sauce. It all comes down to trust. See, instead of throwing money at Facebook ads, they empower local people, community health workers, educators, people who are already trusted in their neighborhoods. These folks become the evangelists. It creates this incredible, super low-cost way to reach people that grows through real relationships, not just ad clicks. And here's what that looks like in dollars and cents. Just look at this. Their cost to get a new customer, what's called CAC, is just $1, a single dollar. The typical cost using digital ads, $10. That's a 90% discount. I mean, that is a huge financial edge, and it's pretty much the foundation of their whole business case. Okay, section 3, the pre-seed opportunity. So they've got this cool, efficient engine. What's the actual deal for anyone thinking about getting involved right now? Let's dig into the specifics. So they have a really clear 3-step plan for the next 2 years. Step 1 is a small $250,000 pre-seed round. That money is just to get the ball rolling and prove the model works. From there, the goal is to get to a point where the business can support itself. Then, and only then, they'll go for a bigger Series A investment to really scale things up. And for this first round, they're using something called a SAFE note. Now, if you haven't heard of it, don't worry. SAFE just stands for Simple Agreement for Future Equity. It's a super common way for startups to get early investment. It's designed to be really straightforward and quick, and it basically ensures that the early partner's interests are aligned with the company's long-term success, all without having to argue about the company's exact valuation right now. All right, section 4, what partners get. Because, this has to be a two-way street. So if you're an early partner, what's in it for you? This pretty much lays out the whole deal. The partner brings the early funding, and in return, they get 3 main things. First, an allocation of what they're calling karma points. Second, total transparency. We're talking dashboard access from the very beginning. And third, a promise that they'll run the company based on hitting clear, measurable milestones. So you're probably asking, what the heck are karma points? Well, the easiest way to think about them is like getting in on the ground floor before the building is even finished. They're basically a placeholder for equity, representing your slice of the pie. But it's a slice of the value that the entire community creates, which means early partners get a share in that collective success from day one.
But it's not just about the money or the equity. This is about getting a real seat at the table. We're talking monthly one-on-one syncs with the founders, having a real say in where the product goes, and seeing everything on a live dashboard. So yeah, this isn't one of those write a check and walk away deals. It's a much more active, hands-on partnership.
Okay, and finally, we have an open invitation. And this part is actually pretty unique. They're not just doing this pitch in some stuffy boardroom, they're framing it as an open call to action for anyone who believes in their mission. They are genuinely looking for people to join them and build this thing from the ground up. And their call to action is really simple. If this whole idea resonates with you, the mission, the model, all of it, they want to talk. They want to start a conversation and figure out what the next steps could be, together. And so, this whole explainer really leaves us with one big, provocative question. When a community comes together to build a business, who actually gets to profit from it? It's a real challenge to the old way of doing things. And Brahmasmi's answer? Well, they seem to be suggesting it should be everyone.